Now, something very interesting just happened in the United States of America. President Donald Trump officially signed for the new beautiful bill, which apparently also gives some incentives, not just to new energy vehicle cars like Tesla, but every car will be getting an incentive. Oh, I mean, one of the things that has been making the big tensions between Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Donald Trump is because they want to, of course, cut the incentives that they've been giving to new energy vehicle cars, which is something that is, of course, what made the Tesla CEO to be so mad. Now, look, which is something that made Tesla CEO Elon Musk to be crossed, right? I mean, you will know that our very own NEO and other new energy vehicle cars, they are not able to sell their cars in the US, right? Or they cannot sell their cars into the US as yet because the tariffs onto the Chinese EV cars are just so high in a way that, look, it is becoming very difficult for Chinese EV makers like NEO to be able to sell their cars in the US. I mean, these incentives that they are giving that are onto car purchases, it is the very same approach that we are seeing, or it is the same approach that China has been implementing for quite some time. I mean, it's just that the difference between these incentives that we are seeing onto the US car purchases versus that of China is that China is prioritizing or has got more incentives or subsidies onto the new energy vehicle car purchases. I mean, have a look at or listen at what the President of the United States, Donald Trump, said.
You're allowed to deduct for income tax purposes your payment of interest. You're allowed to deduct it. It's never happened before, so run out and buy a car. But I have to tell you, it's only good, Mike, if it's made in America. If it's made in another country, you don't get it.
So that is the video where he was talking about the cut, the tax cut when you buy the car. He said for you to qualify, you need to, you will get this incentive if you are only buying a car that is made in America. If it's not, then of course you don't qualify or you won't get these incentives that he was talking about right here. So like I said, the difference between China and the US when it comes to incentives is that China is prioritizing new energy vehicle cars over and above the gas or engine combustion cars. And you will know that right now the new energy vehicle cars subsidies can go up to 20,000 RMB, whereas for those for engine and combustion cars they get like up to 15,000 RMB. So it is for this reason that China is seeing, of course, the penetration rate of new energy vehicle cars even surpassing the kind of penetration that we are seeing coming from the gas or engine combustion cars, which previously, even last year, we never saw this happening. Year to date, penetration rate for new energy vehicle purchases has surpassed or has officially surpassed the purchases that we are seeing from gas or engine combustion cars, which is something that is great. And thanks to the subsidies that are coming from China that made this very much possible for the Chinese consumers who buys EV cars like NEO to be able to get this. The US on the other side, I mean, President Donald Trump says, look, people should get to choose whatever they want to buy, and there should be fairness, and there should be, if you want to buy engine combustion cars, you should be able to do that and benefit the same incentives that those that buy EV cars will benefit. This is their approach. But China is taking, the difference is that China is prioritizing new energy vehicle purchases, which has been working so well. I mean, if you still don't know, China holds 70% of the global market when it comes to the new energy vehicle sales, right? I mean, the new energy vehicle sales, or 70% of the new energy vehicle sales are being made in or are being generated in China, and this is because of the massive, of course, support that the Chinese government has been giving to the new energy vehicle purchases. The NEO CEO, sometimes he would even say that, look, in terms of how far NEO is at, NEO is 10 years ahead of so many countries in terms of its technology, in terms of where is at. It's quite ahead, and this is what, as investors, makes us to remain long and strong onto NEO, even though they are not yet profitable, because the things they are doing, some of the Chinese, or in fact the Chinese car makers, some of these things they would only, it's still a dream, it's still something that they have in mind, but yet NEO has begun to mass produce, mass implement the success or strategies, which is something that is great, something that is very, very exciting. So yeah, man, this is what we saw, this is what we are seeing. And when I saw this, I just thought I'd come and quickly give it to you. Tell me what you think about this. Yeah, I think the hurdle, when you talk about EV stocks like NEO penetrating the US, the hurdle is still there. It's not easy at all. And can I tell you something? Part of the reason why it's like this, it's simply for a reason. I don't like saying this, but it's just the truth. US is scared of what the EV market could do to the car industry in the US. I mean, allowing the penetration of EV stocks like NEO could really, really, really make companies or local American companies to really have to fight for their money. I mean, right now, if you check in the Chinese market, car market as a whole, um, BBAs like your Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Lexus, even Tesla, they've been struggling in terms of sales, or they're starting to see a massive drop in terms of sales. And this shift started even from last year, because so many Chinese local consumers are becoming more and more comfortable buying their own brands. And this is not because they they are being forced to do so, but it's because of the technology, of the safety features. It's because of the kind of products that the local Chinese companies are making, right? And this makes them to, when they compare Mercedes to NEO, they realize that Mercedes falls short. When they compare BMW to NEO, they realize that some features BMW falls short, and therefore they would rather go for NEO and not BMW. They would go for NEO and not Mercedes. They would go for NEO and not Audi. We have had so many people even switching their old cars from owning an Audi to owning a NEO. And this is just the beginning, because Chinese EV makers like NEO continues evolving. Anyways, before this video becomes too long, I just thought I'd come and give you what we just read. This is very important, right, to know that obviously what America is doing, or the US is doing, in terms of this new bill called the beautiful bill that Trump, or President Trump, has officially signed, what it entails. And yeah, it's very interesting, but for our purpose, or the purpose of this channel, it is very important to note that it is still extremely difficult for EV stocks like EV companies like NEO to penetrate the US market, and we don't know if it's going to be possible in the near future, but things could change. I mean, but let's just wait, let's see what happens or what transpires. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering will be rewarded. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you on the next one. That is all from me, and God bless you all.